Well, thank you, Madam Chair. And let me just say, today's agenda is really something.
HRES 1156 would express the House's support for tax policies that support working families across our nation, as well as a recognition of the positive impacts that the working families tax cuts have delivered for hardworking families. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, the expansion of educational freedom and choice through 529 accounts for families. The list goes on and on. The facts and evidence as to why the working families tax cuts are a boon to the American people are as clear as day. There's no debate about it.
First, Republicans want us to vote on giving themselves a pat on the back for their big, ugly bill. You don't even use the bill's actual name in this resolution. Instead of calling it its actual title, which you named it the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, you're calling it the Working Families Tax Cuts Act, rebranding it because it's so unpopular.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Virginia Foxx and Republicans are trying to pat themselves on the back and give the big ugly bill they forced on Americans a new name in the process. Same policy, new label. And when Jim McGovern heard that, he didn't just push back, he tore it apart.
So let me give you guys a little bit of advice. If your bill is popular and helps people, you don't need to pass another measure to tell people how popular and great it is. You wouldn't need to rebrand it. You wouldn't need to tell people something works if it actually works. They would know. I spent my time meeting with constituents over the last 2 weeks. I didn't buy a bubble wand in Disney World. I spent my time listening to people I work for. And you know what they said to me? They're asking, what the hell is wrong with Trump? He's obviously unwell. He's acting like a maniac. And my voters want to know why you guys are acting like everything is just normal. It's not normal, and you all know it. He is very obviously deeply unwell. There is something wrong with him. He's up past midnight attacking the Pope. He's posting pictures of himself as Jesus, and as a Catholic, I'm horrified by that. And I'm sick and tired of Republicans acting like everything is okay, because the people back home in my district and I think people all across the country think he's nuts. And they want to know when Republicans are going to grow a spine and stand up to this lunatic.
Talk about some of the worst rebranding in history. This One Big Beautiful Bill Act is that. It started polling like the garbage that it is among people surveyed. Turns out it's highly unpopular. But instead of acknowledging the cruelty of their legislation, the GOP rebrands it and tries to give themselves a pat on the back for forcing it down America's throat in the first place.
We've been at war in Iran for a month and a half. Gas is way above $4 a gallon. The Epstein files are still being hidden. DHS is still shut down. Costs are skyrocketing. And the President of the United States isn't doing anything to solve any of that. He's posting pictures of himself as Jesus and saying he's going to commit war crimes. And this committee, the powerful House Rules Committee, which could meet to do something about any one of these issues, is passing a non-binding bill to congratulate Republicans for passing a bill they already passed. I mean, this is insane, Madam Chair.
So get this. Remember the so-called Big Beautiful Bill that the Republicans forced down everybody's throats not too long ago? Well, that bill is so freaking unpopular with the American people that the GOP had to rebrand it as a relief bill for working families. But there's no relief in sight. Gas is going crazy. Grocery prices are through the roof. If they think that changing the name of this horrific bill will make suffering more appealing to the masses, they're dead wrong. You guys promised lower prices on day one. Promise broken. Everything is more expensive. Now we're tied up in a conflict that's costing lives, putting our security at risk. We're blocking the Strait of Hormuz, the same strait that was already being contested. So now we're blockading a blockade. How does that make any sense? Meanwhile, oil prices continue to soar. And when oil goes up, everything goes up. Gas, food, housing, costs are rising, and it's coming straight out of the pockets of every single American family. And for what? So they can stand up in Washington and congratulate themselves for a bill they already passed?
You guys promised lower prices on day one. Promise broken. Everything is more expensive. Rent, healthcare, groceries, gas. You guys promised to release the Epstein files. Promise broken. It's now been months and months since Democrats forced a vote to demand the release of the files, yet the administration continues to stonewall and protect pedophiles instead of prosecuting them. You guys promised no new wars. Promise way, way broken. We have now been at war with Iran for over a month and a half. 13 American service members are dead. Hundreds more are wounded. Thousands of civilians have been killed. And now get this. Now we are blocking the Strait of Hormuz, the strait that Iran already blockaded. So we are blockading their blockade? How does that make any sense? Meanwhile, oil prices continue to soar. And higher oil prices mean higher gas prices, higher food prices, higher housing costs. It will drive everything up. Costs are going up and up because of Trump's war. And he is taking money out of the pockets of every single American family. And for what? So we can reopen a strait that was already open before the war started? I mean, what a disaster.
Families are hurting. Gas prices are digging into people's budgets. Farmers are getting squeezed. Our troops are at risk. Our allies are abandoning us. Our adversaries are laughing at us. And Republicans' big plan for the week is passing a resolution to congratulate themselves. It's hard to find the words. I mean, it's like complete and utter buffoonery. The whole thing with Iran is just absolutely horrible, and Donald Trump looks like he's going to try and end it by giving billions of dollars to Iran folks. It's not a victory here. Donald Trump started a war, and he got his butt handed to him. And I'm going to tell you, you watch the Lego cartoons that they are putting together, that Iran is putting together. I mean, I'd hate to say it, but you laugh about it. But the truth is that it is a ploy that our country is in this way. People don't realize the damage that has been done to our country, and it is great damage. We may not have military bases spread throughout the world anymore. Make no mistake about it, the bases that we are in, the Middle East, those are probably going to be shut down.
Did you know that the big wireless carriers like Verizon and AT&T made over $18 billion in profit last year? How? By overcharging you for unlimited data, most of which you probably aren't even using. But what if you could get paid to use your phone less and only pay for the data you do use? Well, with Noble Mobile, you can. For just $50 a month on their No Bull plan, you get unlimited data, and whatever data you don't use, you get cash back right in your pocket. People who switch to Noble can save an average of $500 to $1,000 a year. It's a no-brainer. And by switching to Noble, you're directly supporting TYT and our mission of bringing you honest, independent news. So give Noble a try and make the switch today. Scan the QR code on the screen now or visit go.tyt.com/plan. That's go.tyt.com/plan.
I mean, if that's the only way to keep Iran from bombing the hell out of Kuwait and Qatar, and once again, why would they not want to protect themselves? And then who knows? I mean, it's not exactly like Europe is really happy with the United States of America. Donald Trump has done nothing but throw stones at every single ally that we had while doing everything in his power to make Putin happy. And I'm telling you, I really do believe that Donald Trump is compromised and that Putin and that Netanyahu, they have a lot of very negative stuff on Donald Trump. So to keep from saying that, Donald Trump is doing what they want. That's the only thing that they could put in his path. Donald Trump may be the dumbest president, but I still don't understand. Surely somebody is talking to him. And if it's just Pete Hegseth, then yes, we're in a world of trouble. Have no fear. Our military is going to be fine. Our soldiers are going to be okay, but they're damaging our capabilities. This is an embarrassment, and we are an embarrassment on the global stage. And that's what drives me crazy. That is why we've got to take this country back. That is why when you go to the polling stations, you vote blue no matter who. Blue no matter who. Because right now, if we don't take our country back at all levels, I don't think we're going to be able to turn this around. We have to deal with this administration, and every single one of the folks in this administration probably should stand trial for the things that they have done, especially for the things that they did to immigrants. Kristi Noem, Tom Homan, the little Nazi guy that they fired that was over ICE, Marco Rubio, and all of these people. Pam Bondi, they need to be held accountable. Pete Hegseth needs to be held accountable for the murders in the Caribbean. And somebody needs to be held accountable for the bombing of a school in Iran. The sad thing is that the bombing of a school in the United States of America, everybody would just go thoughts and prayers. But that's not how they do it in Iran. Our allies are turning their backs on us. Our adversaries are laughing at us. And Republicans' big plan for the week is passing a resolution to congratulate themselves for a bill that they already passed. Think about that. You've got real people out here struggling. Gas, groceries, rent, everything's going up. And what are Virginia Foxx and the Republicans doing? Patting themselves on the back. And that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.